Hey everybody, we're going to do January 13th of the 1 year chronological study Bible. Esau, Isaac's older son, disregards his birthright, marries Canaanite women, and lives in the shadow of his twin brother Jacob. Jacob gains Esau's birthright through his scheming, and he obtains Esau's designated blessing through deception. This sibling rivalry foreshadows the numerous battles between their descendants. These sections of scripture trace Esau's genealogy to the Edomite nation, who claimed the land south of Canaan, and their leadership. The Edomites become frequent adversaries of Israel. They attack Israel during Saul's reign, but are brought into servitude during David's. They would ransack Jerusalem after the Babylonian invasion, after which the prophet Obadiah promises Edom's destruction. Moses' record acknowledges Esau's genealogy and then moves to the more significant story of Jacob's descendants, a common practice with genealogies in Scripture. This genealogy also reminds the Israelites of the Edomites' origins and warns them of potential hostility. The author of Chronicles makes a clear distinction between Jacob's descendants and Esau's descendants. The descendants of Esau, Genesis 36, 1 through 19. This is the account of the descendants of Esau, also known as Edom. Esau married two young women from Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, and granddaughter of Zibeon the Hivite. He also married his cousin Basemath, who was the daughter of Ishmael and the sister of Nebaioth. Ada gave birth to a son named Eliphaz for Esau. Basemath gave birth to a son named Reuel. Aholibamah gave birth to sons named Jeush, Jalom, and Korah. All these sons were born to Esau in the land of Canaan. Side note, I'm an Okie from Oklahoma, and I pronounce these names terribly, and that's all through the Bible. Which I do listen a lot to other preachers and teachers, and when I hear them say something, and if I feel like they know how they're pronouncing it, I try to learn to say it that way, but I may be like killing these names. Esau took his wives, his children, and his entire household, along with his livestock and cattle, all the wealth he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and moved away from his brother Jacob. There was not enough land to support them both because of all the livestock and possessions they had acquired. So Esau, also known as Edom, settled in the hill country of Seir. This is the account of Esau's descendants, the Edomites, who lived in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Esau's wife Ada, and Reuel, the son of Esau's wife Basemath. The descendants of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. Timnah, the concubine of Esau's son Eliphaz, gave birth to a son named Amalek. These are the descendants of Esau's wife Ada. The descendants of Reuel were Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. These are the descendants of Esau's wife Basemath. Esau also had sons through Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah and granddaughter of Zibeon. Their names were Jeush, Jalom, and Korah. These are the descendants of Esau who became the leaders of various clans. The descendants of Esau's oldest son Eliphaz became the leaders of the clans of Teman, Omar, Zepho, Kenaz, Korah, Gatam, and Amalek. These are the clan leaders in the land of Edom who descended from Eliphaz. All these were descendants of Esau's wife Ada. The descendants of Esau's son Reuel became the leaders of the clans of Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. These are the clan leaders in the land of Edom who descended from Reuel. All these were descendants of Esau's wife Basemath. The descendants of Esau and his wife Aholibamah became the leaders of the clans of Jeush, Jalom, and Korah. These are the clan leaders who descended from Esau's wife Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah. These are the clans descended from Esau, also known as Edom. identified by their clan leaders. 1 Chronicles 1:35 through 37. The sons of Esau were Eliphaz, Reuel, Jeush, Jalem, and Korah. The descendants of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, Kenaz, and Amalek, who was born to Timnah. The descendants of Reuel were Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. The original peoples of Edom. This is from Genesis 36:20 through 30. So we're starting to see some stuff where it goes a little bit back and forth. These are the names of the tribes that descended from Seir, the Horite. They lived in the land of Edom: Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. These were the Horite clan leaders, the descendants of Seir, who lived in the land of Edom. The descendants of Lotan were Hori and Hemam. Lotan's sister was named Timnah. The descendants of Shobal were Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. The descendants of Zibeon were and Anah. This is the Anah who discovered the hot springs in the wilderness while he was grazing his father's donkeys. The descendants of Anah were his son Dishon and his daughter Aholibamah. The descendants of Dishon were Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Karan. The descendants of Ezer were Bilhan, Zaalvan, and Achan. The descendants of Dishan were Uz and Aaron. So these were the leaders of the Horite clans: Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. The Horite clans are named after their clan leaders who lived in the land of Seir. Now we're back to 1 Chronicles 1:38 through 42. The descendants of Seir were Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. The descendants of Lotan were Hori and Hemam. Lotan's sister was named Timnah. The descendants of Shobal were Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Onim. The descendants of Zibeon were Aya and Anah. The son of Anah was Dishon. The descendants of Dishon were Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Karan. The descendants of Ezer were Bilhan, Zaalvan, and Achan. The descendants of Dishan were Uz and Aaron. The rulers of Edom, from Genesis 36:31 through 43. These are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before any king ruled over the Israelites. Bela, son of Beor, who ruled in Edom from his city of Dinhabah. When Bela died, Jobab, son of Zerah, from Bozrah, became king in his place. When Jobab died, Husham, from the land of the Timonites, became king in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, son of Bedad, became king in his place and ruled from the city of Avith. He was the one who defeated the Midianites in the land of Moab. When Hadad died, Samlah, from the city of Masrekah, became king in his place. When Samlah died, Shaul, from the city of Rehoboth on the river, became king in his place. When Shaul died, Baal, Hanan, son of Akbor, became king in his place. When Baal Hanan, son of Akbor, died, Hadad became king in his place and ruled from the city of Pau. His wife was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, and granddaughter of Mezahab. These are the names of the leaders of the clans descended from Esau who lived in the places named for them: Timnah, Alva, Jethath, Aholibamah, Ella, Pinion, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Aram. These are the leaders of the clans of Edom, listed according to their settlements in the land they occupied. They all descended from Esau, the ancestor of the Edomites. 1 Chronicles 1:43 through 54. These are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before any king ruled over the Israelites. Bela, son of Beor, who ruled from his city of Dinhabah. I feel like we're trying to memorize this. When Bela died, Jobab, son of Zerah, from Bozrah became king in his place. When Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites became king in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, son of Bedad, became king in his place and ruled from the city of Avith. He was the one who destroyed the Midianite army in the land of Moab. When Hadad died, Samlah from the city of Masrekah became king in his place. When Samlah died, Shaul from the city of Rehoboth on the river became king in his place. When Shaul died, Baal Hanan, son of Akbor, became king in his place. When Baal Hanan died, Hadad became king in his place and ruled from the city of Pau. His wife was Mehetabel, the daughter of Batrid, and the granddaughter of Mezahab. Then Hadad died. The clan leaders of Edom were Timnah, Alva, Jetheth, Aholabama, Elah, Pinion, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Aram. These are the clan leaders of Edom. The descendants of Israel. 1 Chronicles 2, 1 through 2. The sons of Israel were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And that concludes January 13th. Thanks for joining in. And it looks like January 14th does not start with names. So y'all come back